canceled. It's a possibility under Mayor Todd Gloria's proposed budget. I'll explain.
The Sheriff's Department announces an arrest in an attack on a 10-year-old girl in Poway. I have more on the suspect's identity.
Santee voters may face a major tax question, and city leaders say the stakes could be millions for roads, fire protection, and public safety.
More than 700 firefighters training in East County for wildland preparedness ahead of peak fire season.
Based on what we heard from both the IBA and city staff, it sounds like December nights might not happen this year.
You heard that right. We're learning that the popular December nights event could be canceled as San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria looks to manage a massive budget deficit. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
And I'm Anna Laurel. It's just one of many cuts the mayor is suggesting to help close a $118 million deficit. But this one in particular has got a lot of people off guard.
News 8's Shannon Handy explains why the beloved Balboa Park tradition is suddenly on the chopping block. Shannon? We have been reporting on these proposed cuts for weeks, but this particular one has flown under the radar. It was uncovered during a recent budget hearing, and it's taking a lot of people by surprise. For nearly 50 years, December nights has been a holiday staple in Balboa Park that draws hundreds of thousands of people. But come later this year, that tradition may be gone.
It seems baffling.
Peter Comiskey, executive director of the Balboa Park Cultural Partnership, says museums and other organizations in the park have already taken several hits. First came paid parking, which led to lower attendance. Then proposed cuts to arts funding, money many of them rely on. Now, news that December nights could be eliminated, something Comiskey says is hard to wrap his head around.
And this is an amazing San Diego event. It kept going through COVID, for goodness sake. So now to close it off from a budget perspective, I'm questioning whether there's a more systemic approach to the disintegration of arts and culture in our community.
Can you explain what that means?
The issue came to light Tuesday during an 8+ hour budget meeting. Councilmember Kent Lee flagged a line item eliminating the position responsible for planning December nights year-round. When pressed, the mayor's office said this.
The Special Events and Filming Office is unable to deliver and produce an event as it has in years past, as you all know it to be. So we are in the process of reevaluating what we can make possible to the extent that it would virtually not be happening at all.
Staff added it costs $1.5 million to put on December nights, but Councilmember Lee argues the city is overlooking what the event brings in, both financially and culturally.
I think this is as silly of a notion as cutting fire pits has been. We dealt with that the last budget cycle, and folks were baffled by the small dollar value, but the impact that it has on people's livelihoods. December nights isn't just a celebration of the holidays. It literally brings people in from throughout the county, from even outside of the region.
A spokesperson for the mayor's office told News 8 that no final decisions have been made, saying in a constrained budget year, those costs are part of the broader conversation the city and council are evaluating.
We can't tell what the plan is. And so I would like to believe that the city has the ability to put on events like this.
The city council is expected to adopt a final budget June 9th. Shannon Handy, News 8.
All right, Shannon, thank you. Tonight, a major cyber attack is impacting the online learning platform Canvas. Canvas is used by more than 40% of higher education institutions in the U.S. and in California. A criminal extortion group claims its attack compromised the personal information of hundreds of millions of people, including students, teachers, and staff, and threatened the release of the stolen data unless their demands are met. This outage has disrupted access to class assignments, grades, and online coursework during finals week for many students. Canvas is used in all 3 of California's major higher education systems, community colleges, multiple UC campuses, and more than half of Cal State universities. Our Esmeralda Perez will break down what we know so far tonight at 9 and 11.
Tonight, a suspect in the sexual battery of a 10-year-old girl in Poway is under arrest. We have been following this case since it happened on Saturday.
Deputies say they arrested 36-year-old Jose Santana after releasing sketches and surveillance pictures to the public. News 8's Alex Cheney joins us live from a very relieved neighborhood. Alex?
Yeah, absolutely. It took just a few days for the sheriff's office to make that arrest on Jose Santana. He's 36 years old. And in their press release, they did credit the help from the public, who I spoke to today. very happy to hear about this arrest.
Actually glad to hear that they caught the guys.
Layla lives in Poway and was pleased to find out police arrested the suspect.
That's really inspiring to know that the cops are out there finding those who hurt our little ones in our community.
The San Diego County Sheriff's Office told us the suspect is 36-year-old Jose Juan Santana, who was arrested yesterday by deputies and booked into the San Diego Central Jail. Santana is now facing one charge of a lewd act on a person under 14 years of age with force. Deputies thank the public for their help, including these surveillance photos that show the suspect.
Thank goodness that they sent those photos and they were doing their part in the community.
Sheriff's deputies say it happened around 6 Saturday night in the 13,000 block of Midland Road between Poway Road and Hillary Place. Detectives say a 10-year-old girl was walking when a man in his 30s or 40s approached and touched her sexually. Her teenage friend screamed for him to stop, and he took off on an electric scooter.
Awesome. Yeah, they got him right away.
Michelle Hill is a local teacher and says she teaches her students about being safe in public and thanked the sheriffs for their quick work.
We've got a good police force right here, and we should be proud that we have people protecting us.
The sheriff's office did not provide an update on the 10-year-old victim, but Layla's friend, Anais, hopes she's recovering well.
It's a hard thing to go through that at a young age, so knowing that you have support around you and that people are actually looking out and wanting to help solve your case, then, kind of makes you feel a little better.
Some really nice words from the public there. Santana will be arraigned tomorrow. Reporting live, I'm Alex Cheney. Back over to you.
A lot of relief over there, Alex. Thank you. Santee city leaders are looking into asking voters to approve a 1-cent sales tax increase. And if it passes, it could generate millions of dollars a year for roads, fire protection, and public safety.
News 8's Abby Black shares what shoppers and voters are saying about the idea.
In Santee, there is plenty of shopping, so city leaders are hoping that a 1-cent sales tax will generate millions of dollars to build a fire station, pave roads, and improve public safety. But not everyone is cashing in on the idea.
You can get just about anything in Santee. There's plenty to shop for, but shoppers are also feeling the pinch in their wallet.
Definitely not easy because, having 2 kids, it's definitely harder.
So when I told them that the city's considering a 1-cent sales tax, that wasn't something that many were happy about.
So even more taxes would kind of suck.
Because they never go away. Once they tax us, it always stays.
They echo the concerns of Councilmember Rob McNellis, the lone no vote at Tuesday night's special meeting, who argues a general sales tax comes with no guarantee the money goes where voters intended.
This is crap that we have to be here. We're not all going to be here necessarily 2 years, 4 years, or 10 years down the line. And those funds could be spent in any other way, fashion, or form.
The council voted to study a 1-cent sales tax, double what was originally floated, because even though a majority of voters surveyed supported a ½ cent, the city says $7 million a year just is not enough to address the $322 million in unfunded needs, such as a 3rd fire station, paving roads, and improving public safety. Santee's population has nearly sextupled since 1964, but only 1 additional fire station has been added in that time. A 1-cent tax would generate up to $14 million a year, with groceries, medications, and diapers remaining exempt. Mayor John Minto says unfunded state mandates have left the city with few options.
The responsibility doesn't disappear. It lands right back on the cities.
Santee native Bree Maggio doesn't love the idea of paying more, but as a mom raising her kids here, she understands the need.
If it's to better Santee, I definitely want them to live in a community that we put into.
I talked to the president and CEO of the Santee Chamber of Commerce, and she says their organization is in full support of this. If this survey comes back in June, that's when the council will decide whether or not they want to put this 1-cent sales tax on the November ballot. Reporting in Santee, Abby Black, News 8.
All right, Abby, thank you. Right now, hundreds of firefighters from across the county are preparing for the battles they hope never come, sharpening life-saving skills, running emergency simulations, and training side-by-side in rugged wildland terrain.
Tonight, News 8's Brian White takes us to Verona for a front row seat inside the intense training.
Yeah, they've got an important job protecting people and communities year-round. This annual training is all about getting ready, getting prepared ahead of peak fire season. For 3 days in Verona, more than 700 firefighters from agencies across San Diego County are working through realistic wildland fire scenarios. Laying and connecting hose lines up steep hillsides, defending structures, and coordinating helicopter water drops from above.
We're trying to get people to get experience and to get out into this wildland environment, to be placed under a little bit of pressure and to solve problems as they come along.
This county-wide wildland drill has been happening for nearly a quarter century, bringing together local fire departments, CAL FIRE, the U.S. Forest Service, and law enforcement agencies to train side by side before the next major wildfire strikes.
They're actually going out there and laying hose, coupling hose, extending it, squirting water. They have the hand tools, they're cutting brush, making fire break lines.
Yeah, you're going to get our pumping platform right there. The goal is building teamwork and trust before firefighters meet on a real fire line.
No single department is going to handle a large event like this on their own, so we need to work together.
This year's training also included firefighters from Tijuana observing techniques they can bring back across the border.
It's an effort for them to come and see what we do, how we do it, and then replicate it in Mexico.
Caesar, double time.
And as fire danger ramps up across the county, crew safe preparation isn't just important for firefighters, but for homeowners too.
You got to start preparing yourself before the fire comes. So when the firefighters do arrive, they know that this house is defensible and that they can protect it.
In Verona, Brian White, News 8.
Thanks, Brian. You can stream more of our coverage of what's happening around San Diego County on our CBS 8 app now on your phone or your TV, all for free.
Healthcare advocates are celebrating what they call a promising step forward, but say state leaders need to do more.
We'll have that story still ahead, plus the new details we are learning about the arrests of cruise ship workers here in San Diego.
And what state leaders are saying about California's fuel outlook and why you shouldn't worry.
Lots of sunshine in the forecast for today. We are starting to see some of those clouds rolling back on shore for North County, but we're going to continue to have the sunshine, but it's the warm up that we're going to be in store for all the way into next week. Your complete forecast is coming up.